Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner Classic Last Known Classics. This is episode number 2240 and Doubleshot number 2134. You're thinking, almost halfway through the 2200s, and you only got 2200 like not that long ago. Yeah, it's definitely indeed true. I'm already halfway through, so almost halfway through. Now, these two trades feature characters that were created by Stan Lee. And, of course, Jack Kirby. The other one does not technically feature a character created by Jack Kirby. Jack Kirby nothing to do with the other character. Well, I'll get to her. It's a woman. Okay? First up we have is The Avengers Epic Collection. Volume 3, The Masters of Evil. Yeah, all the issues written by Roy Thomas, all work by John Buscema. We basically have... This book collects issues 41 to 56 Avengers, along with the first two annuals, X-Men 45 and Not Brent Ike number 8. Now, like usual, story arcs. Yes. Now, Gary Frederick is also in some co-writing here with the co-artwork by Don Heck, Warner Roth, George Acosta, and the late Gene Colan. Yeah, so basically in the first issue, they take on Diablo and the Dragon Man from Fantastic Four. Yep. Yeah, and then pretty much throughout these issues, Goliath can't go bigger than he normally is, so he's kind of briefly stuck, and also Black kind of joins up with him. There's a saga with her as sort of a side thing. It leads to the debut of the Russian version of Captain America, the Red Guardian. This, of course, is the original one. Yes, Sue, get this, was once married to the Black Widow. Yeah, currently they're divorced, and I believe he's no longer Red Guardian right now. He recently took up the identity of Ronin, which was the previous an identity previously taken up by Hawkeye. Yep, and then the storyline kind of wraps up with issue 44. Yep, but next we have here is the very first annual for Avengers. Yes. The first annual is basically the Mandarin assembling a team of villains to attack various points of the whole world. He recruits the Swordsman, Power Man, the Living Laser, which he calls a monkey suit for some reason. I guess a really good costume. The other people he resembles in here are the Executioner and the Enchantress. I'm like, that's interesting. All these characters are created by Stan Lee. I think Jack Kirby was involved with the creation of most of these characters. But here's the interesting comes to these characters. The Swordsman and Power Man are original characters of Avenger Comics. Enchantress and Executioner are from the pages of Thor. Mandarin has made a debut in Tailspin 50, and Living Laser is an Iron Man villain. So you have 2 Iron Man villains, 2 Thor villains, and 2 regular Avenger villains. Yep. It's a really good aspect annual. And it's something, though, Stan Lee didn't write this. He did first in for Amazing Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, Journey to Mystery, which became the Thor annuals. All these first annuals. Avengers was probably the first one he did not do the annuals for. Nope. Of course, X-Men, they did have annuals for a period of time, but they were reprints. Yes. The first 2 annuals were reprints. After a profile page. And then we lead into the next arc, which is Blitzkrieg in Central Park. Yeah, it's the Avengers versus the Super Daptoid. Yes, the Super Daptoid. Marvel's version of him is Marvel's counterpart to a Mazo. Yes. Excuse me. So like in the case of the Avengers, which are basically Marvel's counterpart to the Justice League, basically the Super Daptoid is the same thing. A robot who copies the powers of Avengers. That was mostly a standalone issue. And then we have in issue 46 where we have the Avengers take on Whirlwind, a enemy of Hank Pym, who at this point is Goliath. Yeah, then we have 47 crossover with issue of X-Men, which basically deals with, well, Magneto. Yeah, this basically causes a brief period of time where Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver briefly left the Avengers. This was their first day of absence. Yeah, this story here, where Hawk, or basically Magneto tricks Quicksilver to work with him because of stuff, because of stuff related to Magneto and of course humans. 48 is the debut of a brand new character. Who is this character? This is Dan Waltman, aka the Black Knight, a character who is still the Black Knight this very day, and shares his identity with his own daughter. Yep. Yeah, this is his debut. Yeah, and also it's in this issue that the previous Black Knight, who was the first publication, well, actually second publication Black Knight, who was his uncle, he dies in this issue. Yep. Which makes him probably one of the very few characters to die in the 60s, who was not a supporting character. He was just an Iron Man villain. He basically becomes a Black Knight in this very issue, and he requests to use the same power, but use it for good instead of evil. So then we have more stuff with Magneto, which gets wrapped up kind of toward issue 50-ish. Yeah, then we have Hercules, who's got his beard shaved, and he's taking on Ares, the god of war. Yep. And it's all happening in issue 50. Yep. And then 51 basically is Goliath's power restored. But this issue here in particular is noteworthy for a debut of one new character. We have the Collector who's working with Thor for some reason. Yes. There are a debut of two things in here. Which I'll get to that. Well, let's see if I can find it here. Excuse me. I thought he made his debut here, but I don't think he did. I don't see him here. Well, 52 we have basically a new member joining the team. A character who was created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. A character by the name of the Black Panther. You may notice there's something strange about him. He's got a cowl on. His mask is a cowl. That was something briefly he experimented with before going back to the full mask he's now wearing. And this issue's debut of this guy here. This is Eric Williams, the Grim Reaper. Yes, the Grim Reaper. And no, his outfit did look like this, but it wasn't these colors. Nope, they kept changing a lot over the years. Yes, the Grim Reaper. Yep. So, yeah, this is the issue where he joins the Avengers. And for some reason, this leads into the pages of X-Men. Yep. This issue here, issue 52, the debut, they have Black Panther joining the team. This leads into X-Men 45, which leads into Avengers 52. Yep. Which has the issue end with Magneto's first apparent death. Yes, and of course, Magneto, Quicksilver Skull West stopped working with him. And then we have 54, we have debut of a brand new lineup for the Masters of Evil. We have the Radioactive Man, we have Ulysses Claw, Whirlwind, and I don't remember who this guy is, but yeah, and of course Black Knight joins his roster for the intense purpose of betraying them. Yep, that was the only reason why he's here. Yep. Who is leader of this team? Well, we'll get to that. So, that's actually the Melter. Who, here's the fun fact. Did you know of all these characters, Melter is currently deceased? Yeah, he got killed in the 80s by Scourge, the Underworld. Yeah, he's no longer alive. If you're curious about the Melter, he's an old Iron Man villain. But as the rest of them, Radioactive Man, Iron Man villain. Ulysses Claw, even though he started his debut as a villain in Fantastic Four, he's more associated with Black Panther. As a matter of fact, almost all backstories related to him, with the exception of the live-action version of this character, he is responsible for the death of Black Panther's father, T'Chaka. Whirlwind, of course, is enemy of all people, Ant-Man. They wrap this up really soon. So, we also debut of the Crimson Crow. Yes, the Crimson Crow, who is the leader. First is basically Jarvis Posey as this person, but turns out actually debuting Ultron. Yes, Ultron makes his debut this very issue. Yep. So you have another really cool Avengers factor with these issues. Then 56, we just have a brief stand-alone issue, which is also the last issue in this trade here, along with the annual. It's just a brief stand-alone issue focused on Captain America. Yep. And then we have the ending, which basically deals with time travel, which is pretty interesting. To say the least. It's not as good as the first handle, but still pretty good here. Not by any just the comedy stuff related to stuff. This book is really good. I give this book a 10 out of 10. And I'm going to have to end it right here because basically supper's ready. So I will continue this a little bit later. We'll discuss basically She-Hulk. Yep, She-Hulk. Okay, next video. Bye.